Oh, good. Well, that's good.
Can you see now?
You can see now, yeah.
But no, he broke his hand, so he can't play. What's the deal?
I know. What's up with that?
Well, we were working on
I
it.
can take like medicine or whatever, but it'll come down because of that.
Yeah, pressure, the barometric pressure up and down.
Yeah,
same thing. Terrible. I understand that.
Medicine yesterday.
Right at you. Well, yesterday was windy. Hot, cold. Yeah, I know. Okay.
How did you manage two of these?
Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Is this gonna be the one where you tell all or?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna tell all. Yeah, that's right. That's me. My whole big
All
interest
she
in
talked about was being on the bus.
Well, that's all I've been for the last 30 years. Not much else did I do besides riding a bus.
You settled? Yes, sir. All right. Well, it was interesting the first time, and I'm sure it'll be this time.
I'm just removing my jacket. I'm putting myself together. I'm falling apart, slowly, sure. There. I'm going to sit up there because stay put. I'm talking to my cane. It's like a dog. It's the cat that's helping.
Steve Davila. Is my mic up? Steve Davila. Hey, Steve. Yeah. Stuart, are you ready for us? We should start. Yeah, okay. What are you saying? Yes or 1 minute?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hello, audience. Hello, good to see you. I'm Rick Kiley, and this is Eileen Rosenblatt. She's very excited to be here. Welcome back to the stage. She said, why am I here again? You may recall that Eileen was up here a while back and talked to us about being a bus operator. Got that right, huh? And told us a story. But some of us thought it'd be a good idea to learn more about Eileen than just being a bus operator. Thank you, Dale. Dean, could you help by closing that door? Thank you. So we'd like to hear more about you, and thought we'd start out by just asking you, where were you born and where did you grow up, Eileen? Hold that real close, it's directional.
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in Brooklyn Hospital. But I always tell them from Queens, because that's where my mom brought me back to. So I've always grown up in Queens. I lived in Glendale, New York, which was known for bars, restaurants, bars, cemeteries, and pizzerias. That's all we had at the time.
Okay.
And it was a nice childhood. I enjoyed my childhood. My mother was a stay-at-home mother, and my father was a fireman. I have 2 sisters, 2 grandchildren, a boy and a girl. Other than that, I went to Catholic school for 8 years, and then from there I went to public school, and I graduated from community college with a degree in computers. Hated it, by the way. I like talking to people better. And then as years went along, I got married. You want to keep me to keep going?
Yeah, I do. I want you to hold the microphone like I am, though.
Okay.
See this?
I got married.
Look at me.
I got married when I was 18. Well, I was married a month before I was 18, and I had my first daughter at 20, and my second daughter at 23. And I was a stay-at-home mom for a while until I decided, I'm going to try a crossing guard job. Well, I did that for 5.5 years. I loved my crossing job. I stood right in front of my kids' school, thought that was a lot of fun. But I was also, just as I am today, inquisitive. I couldn't understand why the mailman was going in the mailbox without a uniform on. I went to the councilman's office, got him in a lot of trouble. They did that years ago. We were allowed to go in the mailbox and take the mail out, and these were private. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was helping. But anyhow, so then from there, I've always thought my husband and I would buy a house. My first husband and I would buy a house. And so I took the job. I always wanted to be somebody in a uniform, whether it be the mailman, the garbage man, somebody. I wanted to be somebody in a uniform. So I took the job, I took the test and got the bus driver's job. That's how originally I got it, bus operator. And I did that for about 20 years in New York. I really honestly hated it. I don't like to drive. I really hate driving. And I honestly do. And I'm a person that goes
in New York.
I'm a person that goes from destination A to destination B, and that's it. Nothing in between, no pleasure driving, none of that type of stuff. So, but you know, as the time went along, my salary increased. My salary doubled by taking from the crossing guard job to the bus job. My salary increased by double. So how do you leave a job that pays so much money? So I decided I was going to stay. And the first year I cried. Oh, I cried a lot the first year. Around the poles of one of the tests was to go around the L pillars with the bus, and the man in front of me drove what is that thing called? A tow truck, and he had no problem doing it. Me, oh my gosh, it was terrible. It was awful. But I eventually learned, and I've enjoyed it. I like driving the bus. And then I retired early from New York. One of the perks of coming in at that time was I could retire earlier, so I did retire earlier. And then I met my second husband,
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a note that your first husband, then
Right, now
second
I have a
husband.
second husband.
Okay.
and he was originally my boss, but it took us about 20 years to get together before by the time I entered my career game, we finally, he was married, I was married, we both had commitments, we didn't want to leave, and we didn't, and so we wound up staying, and when I got divorced, and he got divorced, guess what? We found each other again, so from there, my husband was always kind of a restless type, so he says, come on, this is enough, we're leaving. If your kids won't go away, let's come on, you and I, we're going to go someplace. So I says, all right, so we went to Florida, and I got to Florida, and of course I needed a job again, so of course I look in the buses. No, nothing happened at that time, so we went out to Las Vegas, Nevada. And Las Vegas, Nevada, I spent 2 years there, and I probably would have stayed there except for 9/11 happening and things dried up. So we wound up coming back to Florida, and then I took the bus job. Back to Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, back to teeny tiny salary, and so on and so forth. But I stuck that out for another 10 years. So, and then my husband and I decided, well, after I retired, my husband got sick when I turned 62, my husband got sick, and he had leukemia, and first he had cancer, and he got it from an accident. He was in an accident, and he had leukemia, and from leukemia, it became into leukemia. So at 62, I had to be home 100 days with him steady, so I had to leave my job. I left my job there, and I did just enough. I had 10 years already. I had enough busing by that point. We stayed in Florida for another 3 years. And my husband says, I can't take it anymore, we've got to go. So off we went. And I always tell the stories, how I wound up in New Mexico was, well, Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas, I have no intentions of living there. Louisiana has hurricanes. Texas, I've been there already many, many years ago with my first husband when he was in the Army, so I didn't enjoy Texas. Arizona's too hot. Nevada I already lived in, and San Diego was way too expensive. So guess what's left? New Mexico. So that's how we wound up here. My husband originally wanted to go to Deming, and I told him, I says, while we're still under doctor's care, we can't go to Deming, we have to go somewhere else. So we went to Las Cruces, and I always describe Las Cruces as Orlando without the palm trees. That's how it looks. It has the exact same attitude and same problems and, exactly the same thing.
Well, when you were in Florida, where did you live?
I lived in Orlando, Florida.
Orlando.
Right, and I worked for Lynx Bus System, which was the major bus system in that area.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I went to Disney World thousands of times, SeaWorld, Universal,
Yeah.
because of that, yeah.
Is that what attracted you to Orlando?
Not at all, no. My husband, we decided we wanted someplace warm, and Orlando was the logical place because I still needed to work. I was still young, so I still needed to work. So I worked there in the bus company for 10 years before we decided.
And before he got sick, what did he do?
My husband was also a bus driver. He was a
All right.
supervisor, and then he became a taxi driver after that. So.
Okay.
And being a taxi driver in Las Vegas, now that was profitable. They went to every show and every restaurant you could think of because they used to want the taxi drivers to be able to talk to the tourists and tell them where to go and what to do. So we used to get free comps for everything. It was great. It was really nice. But
Kind of skipped all that, right? You were in Las Vegas, and you were both taxi cab drivers?
no, I was a bus driver. He was a taxi.
All right.
Oh, busing and that's where I learned how to drive a double bus, 2 buses in those long, tremendously long buses, or a trolley. I've had one of those. I drove a trolley while I was there, and the people. If you ever want to know about people, Disney World people are the crankiest people when they come out because they smile the entire whole day. Oh, are they cranky passengers? And then you get SeaWorld and
You mean the employees?
the employees. Oh. Terrible people. They weren't very nice. They really weren't very nice.
All right, all right.
But and then I got here and we came here and my husband Still wasn't feeling well. He had another 2 years to go before they really cleared him of his leukemia. He got a transplant, he got all the things he needed, but 5 years was the cutoff point. And somehow he got here. I realize he didn't feel good when he got here, but he was so excited about coming here. He wanted to get here. So we got here, and by the time December came, my husband's leukemia came back, and we went to the doctor, and the doctor told us, he told us this on Christmas, the day after Christmas, and told us we had to go to Albuquerque. Oh no, we went to an appointment on the 31st, New Year's Eve. And
What year would this be?
in 2015 was when I got here. I got here in September of 2015, and my husband was diagnosed in October, about the end of October. Then he had a pacemaker put in, and things were just going downhill. So they told us to go to Albuquerque. And so here I am, excited. I had no idea what to do. I turned around, I dumped my cat in a cage, I put my cat in the car, and off my husband and I went to Albuquerque. And I got to Albuquerque, and I put him in the hospital and realized I had a cat in the back seat. So now I have to figure out where to go. So Motel 6, thank God, takes animals. So I got there, I took that. I was there about a week, and they couldn't diagnose him. They told us they're going to send us to Denver. That would be the next spot. So we went to Denver, and I came home and flew back and went to Denver, and my husband passed away about 15 days after I got there. So he said exactly 6 words, and 6 words, that was it, and never again did he speak to me after that. So, but my husband passed away January 25th of 2016. So I've been here alone all this time. But I tried going back to Florida, but I don't like Florida. I didn't like Florida. I couldn't understand why am I going back to some place I don't like. So I decided, and you can't go back to New York. Once you leave New York, you can't go back. It's too expensive. So I decided I was going to stay here, and that's how I got here.
Wow. So today, you have 2 children?
Yes, I have 2 girls.
Oh, 2 girls, 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Are they up in New York? Or?
Yes, everybody's in New York. I have 2 sisters and 2 daughters, all in New York, and 2 grandchildren, and 2 son-in-laws and brother-in-law. The whole group.
So the daughters are married?
Yes, both my daughters are married. One has a daughter, one has my grandson. And they are not flyers. They hate to fly. They don't fly anywhere. So I have to go there. They don't come here ever. So I've never, in the 3 major cities I've lived, all the tourists, I've never seen my children in those cities. Orlando, New York, or Las Vegas, I've never seen them. They don't come here.
It's amazing they didn't come to Florida.
Now, and my children and my sisters, one has a clotting problem and the other one has a hearing. She has hearing problems, so they don't fly either, so nobody comes. It's okay. I go. It's all right. I see everybody that way.
You said you were raised Catholic.
Yes, I was so...
How long did that last, so to speak?
Until I got here. Until I came
Really?
here. Yeah. I practiced Catholicism, let's see, well, throughout my 8 years, of course, during grammar school, and then I went to high school, I went there, and I went to church at that time. And then as, well, time goes along and things happen, and bus driving, forget it, you always work Saturday and Sunday, so I never was home on Saturday or Sunday. So I managed to go away from the church, but I've always been looking for a church. I've always looked for something. I went to Baptist in Florida, and I liked that. That was fun, but too big. A 5,000 seat place. It was kind of big.
That's a big church.
And then I've been to others. My children have been to Vacation Bible School. I love the atmosphere of Vacation Bible School. My kids were little. I love the people there. They were so friendly, and they took chit-chat, and they talked, and they had coffee and cake, and it was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable. So when I got here, I still was looking around, but I wasn't really aiming for anything until I met John Gardenhire. I met him. He was calling bingo, and I was playing bingo at the senior center. And we were chit-chatting and talking, and we realized we lived on the same street, and that we were, that he says, oh gee, and the amazing thing about John was he could quote the Bible word for word, like pull a sentence out of the Bible and apply it to whatever we were talking about. And I was so impressed.
Really?
I said, I never heard that before. I never heard somebody doing that, just casually chit-chatting and talking. So one day, John says, come to Morning Star. That's what I did. I came to Morning Star, met all the people here, and I've been here ever since. I love it. I think it's the nicest place going.
Well, we're grateful to John Gardenhire.
Yeah, I am too. I am grateful every single day because I feel like I found a family again, a family of people. I never studied the Bible before, and I find that completely fascinating. Why things are happening, and how come, and why do they do these things? And up to now, in Catholicism, especially when I grew up, was just go to church, read. The priest would say the homily, and that would be the end of it, and you'd go home. And I studied the catechism, by the way, who made us? God made us. And by the time I got to 8th grade, it was a page long, so, you know.
I was raised Catholic, and Patty was Presbyterian, and I don't know anything about the Bible. We just did learn who made the world, God made the world, where is God, God is everywhere, and it was what. You went to Catholic school, right?
Yeah, 8 years in grammar school.
Because I just went to Catholic Sunday school, and we really got very little training.
My children learned more in vacation Bible school in a week in a Lutheran or Presbyterian or whatever denomination they went to. They learned more in a week than my children learned the entire time they were in Sunday school. So, you know, it makes you wonder sometimes. But I liked it. I like this right now. I'm enjoying all the things that I'm in, so it works out really well.
So what do you do here? Women's Bible?
Women's Bible study, the Bible Project on Wednesday nights.
Wow. I'm
hoping eventually to go to senior pantry on Saturday. That's my goal. That's my next goal. Beyond that, I don't do too much, but I go to the activities that are here. Anytime we have an activity, I always try showing up. And, I played bunco the other night. That was fun. I love the ladies in bunco.
Just one time? First time?
No, second. This is second. I won the first time. The second time I didn't do as well. So.
Oh, well, winning's not important, is it?
No. It's more the fun that goes on. And then I'm very active in AARP. Do you know we have a local chapter, 1230? Did anybody know that? It meets on Wednesday at Peace Lutheran Church every third Wednesday of the month. I belong to that. I belong to Young at Heart Chorus. The average age there is between 80. About the average age is about 80. It's an old group. I sit with ladies who are 90 something in the front row. So, but we have a lot of fun.
I hear great things about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time. We sing in the nursing homes, and I love meeting the people in nursing homes. That's my forte. My husband was always interested in youth. I love the seniors. And now, of course, I'm one of them, but I like the older ones. That's how I should put it. I like the older seniors. I love stories.
We see you at Fitness One.
Yes, I go, well, that's only recent. I decided to do that starting in January. And yeah, it's all right. Makes me sore, but other than a little sore, but other than that. And let's see what else. I do though. I go to craft. I craft constantly. I hate crafting. I hate painting. I hate all these things. My sister was really good at this stuff and I'm not. But I never stop until I find one I like. I'm going to keep at this until I find one. There's got to be one out there that's for me. So, and I think collaging seems to be my forte. I seem to be collaging. That's my art teacher was telling me the other day. You collage very well. So,
where is that? At AARP?
well, no, I go to the library. They're always free. There's tons of free activities at the library. So I go there. I go to the senior centers. They have free classes. I go there. I do anything that's free. I'm also music. I love music. So I go to the Atkins Center. We go to the free music concerts that are there. And I love all that stuff. I'm never bored. Never. I'm always busy. I never have any time. I kind of visit my house occasionally. I like to visit my house occasionally.
I hear you. Wow.
I've been
can't sleep this week because of this.
Because of this many in there,
Yeah.
these few people.
I know, all my friends out here, it's fine, they're all my friends.
Well, I feel like we probably skimmed over a bunch of stuff there
Well,
in all those places.
What would you like to know? Let's see, I've been cross-country once. My first husband was in the Army. I married him, he was in Vietnam, and I married my husband, and right before he left, that's why I was 18 going on 19. And we lived in, let's see, Stockton, California, and someplace, Killeen, Texas. So it was that was strange. I worked in Killeen, Texas as a waitress, and of course, my accent, and I didn't know I had one of these. I say talk, walk, and coffee. Oh, good Lord, you should heard them in Texas. What they would do. I didn't understand words there. They had words like sack and hoagies and all strange words I've never heard before. Like I got here, and I spent a whole month here, somebody saying the word arroyo, and I'm saying, what is an arroyo? I'm sick of that. I want to know what an arroyo is. It turns out to be a ditch. But it wasn't anything as interesting as I thought it was. And,
I lived in Houston for a while, and I got here, and they explained to me that an arroyo was like a bayou without water in it. Basically it is.
and then
Why don't we let these guys ask questions rather than me make stuff up? Because I'll bet you they have some or have some comments or know you. So
Hi, Dean, yes.
yeah, go ahead, Dean. I'll have to repeat the question because they won't hear you.
So, Eileen, do you look back on your life now at your age that maybe you've had a life well lived?
So the question is, do you have a life well lived?
No,
Do you view it that way?
no, I don't. No.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Because I spent 30 years in a bus looking out of a window, and I wanted to be the person outside that window. And that's why when I retire, I stay extremely busy, because I'm making up for all the years I didn't do anything. So in a bus, when you drive a bus, especially I limited to myself to certain hours and times because I have children home. I had to be a certain place at a certain time. I always felt I missed out on something. You know, even though I could tell you a million stories about what's going on in New York because I could look out the window, but I wanted to be that person outside the window. But it wasn't the first job. I think I would have liked a job as an information person in the middle of Macy's, in the desk. I loved giving out information and things like that. I did enjoy that. I think I would have enjoyed that more, but hey, life is what gives you. I never really thought I'd be a bus operator, not at all. That's the last thing I really thought of. But yeah, no. Now I don't feel like I miss anything, because now I'm very busy and I do a lot of things, so I'm making up for it, if nothing else in life.
Who else has a question or comment for Eileen? Do any of you ladies do the women's bunker? No.
Do the what?
Bunko.
Oh, yeah,
You do.
I do.
A lot of fun?
It's a blast, yeah.
All right.
Bunko is complete luck. There is no skill. There is no way to affect the outcome. So it's just absolute luck.
Bunko is complete luck.
Oh, it is, definitely. It's rolling the dice. I learned it from my mom. My mom used to run the VFW bunkos, so I learned that from my mother. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's an old-fashioned game, and it's a lot of fun together. You do a lot of laughing, and you try and you darndest, and it doesn't work.
I would ask you, where is the favorite place you lived?
Gee, I don't have anything in particular. California was lovely. I would have stayed in California if my husband hadn't gotten out of the army. He got out of the army kind of on a fast. At that time, they were releasing the soldiers really fast.
Yeah.
And my husband already applied for a job and everything there, and he says, oh no, let's go, we're going back home. Yeah, we're going back to New York, so back we went, so. And, but I guess California, I like that. I think I like that one. Although I do like it here. My husband couldn't have left me in a better place. That's how I always looked at it. It's such a nice area, and I love it because we're in the middle of nowhere, no neighbors next door. We're 60 miles this way and 40 miles that way, and 40 to go up. And I like the fact that we're isolated and by ourselves here. So, and I don't miss the tourists. I'm tired of tourists. God.
Well, just wait, because it's growing and growing and growing. That's for sure.
Well, it's like in Las Vegas. I lived, when you live in Las Vegas, the trick is not to live in the, I lived in the town of Las Vegas, but I lived right above where you could see the strip. So for me, living there was just like living in a regular place. I had Target and Walmart and all the rest of the stores there up on top of the hill. So I never had to go down the hill to go to work other than I didn't do it.
You said you wanted to get involved in senior pantry.
Yes.
So what's appealing to you about that?
I like helping seniors. I think that's one of the best things going, and I think that people should be more. I like the fact that the Mexicans here take care of their older folks, and we don't have that. That doesn't seem to be the case in New York as much. I don't find that as great in New York, and I like that fact that people need my help, and I want to help. I just do. I help to cut up boxes or put cans in boxes. I don't know what I'm going to do. Has to be a sit-down job, though. I need a sit-down job.
Cut up boxes.
Yeah. I'm good at that. I do that at home.
That's what I do. Regular pantry.
Yeah.
So Eileen, when you go back to New York City and see your family and your friends and people there,
Right.
how do they talk different and strange, or do you fall in line with them?
Oh, no, I fall in line. Right now, I'm sure you think I should speak very fast. Well, my daughter does about 2 times as fast as me. I have to actually, now that she's on the phone, especially on the phone, I call, I says, you gotta slow down a second. Take a breath. Take a breath. But no, I don't find that. So I fall right into the pace of running around there just as much as every place else. You know, I always, when I come to a new town, this is the first town I've come to that I've never driven a bus. I always knew where I was going. This is the first time.
So maybe we need to get a church bus.
No, I gave my license.
Well, I really appreciate, and we all appreciate your doing this today, and I think you have a wide range of interests. The Young at Heart, if you're not familiar, is a singing group here in town, and a number of our church members are involved in it. John Gardenhire and Wes Boots, Larry Farmer.
Fran, Dean's wife.
Oh, Dean's wife.
Fran.
Yeah. Fran, are you involved?
Yeah.
Fran Bolt.
Yeah, Fran Bolt sings for us.
And they rehearse on
Mondays, 2 Mondays, the last 2 Mondays, well, it depends upon how the month goes. The first or the last, or the 2 last Mondays of the month at 2. And then we sing every Thursday at 2 o'clock, once at the Aristocrat, once at North Rise, once at Solstice, and Good Sam's.
Yeah, the assisted living grounds, right?
And Good Sam's is a place, it's public, so if you ever want to come and see us, come the 4th Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock, and you can come and see us sing. So,
They sing where you are, Father John? Yeah? Pretty good, are they?
Oh, yeah.
He says they're good.
and my favorite thing is, I got involved in that because I used to sing out in the audience. I used to go to their concerts and sing out in the audience. I said, why am I singing over there when I can sing up there? So,
Why don't you sing in this choir?
I can't, I don't know, boy.
Okay.
We're
Good.
working on it. We'll work her on it.
Working on her? All
We'll
right.
work on getting her going.
Okay, I'm getting a signal.
Yeah, wrap it up.
We're wrapping it up. So once again, we really appreciate it. Why don't you give Eileen a round of applause? Thank you.
Thank you.